office. She's the Chief of Administration for the Erie County District Attorney's Office and has been since John Flynn and I came back in the office in 2017. She's an incredible organizer, an incredible leader, and we could not run the office the way we do without her. But she's even better on the campaign trail. She's an unbelievable worker. She works 24/7, and I've never seen anybody accomplish what she can do in dealing with the challenges of a campaign, and she does it all with a smile on her face, and she treats people so well. She's really incredible, and I'm blessed to have had her at my side for the last year. So thank you, Kathy. You know, I mentioned John Flynn, and Jeremy mentioned John. John is one of my dearest friends, and it was my honor and privilege to work with him for the last 8 years. You know, I learned from John. I learned from a tremendous leader. I learned integrity, and I learned loyalty. And I'll never forget everything, John, that you have done for me and you did for this community. And it was really my privilege to work beside you and watch you run the district attorney's office. And thank you for everything you've done, John. I really appreciate you, and I hope this community understands what a great leader you were. Kerry Saunders, who isn't here right now because he left, but he's been incredible. You know, I mentioned the Baptist churches on the east side. Kerry got me into all the churches and introduced me to the people, the east side of the city of Buffalo. And Kerry is an invaluable asset on this campaign, and I can't thank Kerry enough. You know, a couple other people, Holly Park and Karen Byrne. Holly Park ran my social media. Let's give a shout out to Holly. And Karen Byrne thought she retired from Erie County, but then I recruited her to be my treasurer. Thank you, Karen. The paycheck wasn't as good when you were working for the county, but thank you for everything, Karen. That's an incredible job you did. Bobby Graber, I don't know if Bobby's in the house, but Bobby did all our design work for all our printing and everything that was put out by the Erie County Democratic Committee, so thank you, Bobby. Cheeto Olivencia. Cheeto's been around for a long time, and he helped me get around on the west side of the city of Buffalo and the Hispanic community. So thank you, Cheeto, if you're in the house. You know, the Erie County Democratic Committee, Jake and Siobhan and all the people on the staff there, they work tireless and long hours, and thank you for everything that you guys did for me. Jeremy runs a great office, but he couldn't do it without the great people that work for him. You know, John Gilmore, I don't know if John's in the house, but thank you very much for your friendship, your loyalty, and thank you for all the help you provided me in developing and cementing the relationships that we worked with the Buffalo Police Department and all of the police agencies that support Jeremy, some of them. But I got to mention John Evans and Bobby Joyce from the Buffalo Police Department's PBA, along with Roscoe and Frank and many others with the Buffalo PBA. I also had the support of the Erie County Sheriff's PBA, Town of Tonawanda Police, Amherst Police, New York State Police. I think I saw Charlie. Charlie, you still in the house? There's so many I can't even mention them all, you know. And we also had tremendous support from labor outside of the police agencies. Peter DeJesus, I saw a little while ago. Peter, thank you very much for your support and your endorsement with Western New York Area Labor Federation and all of the other unions. I'm not going to mention them all. I had 25 labor organizations support me, and we could not do this without labor. So thank you, labor. There's a number of people from my office that are here, the Erie County District Attorney's Office. You know, we got 200 people that work for us, and the people that helped me on the campaign did so, you know, as volunteers. We were very careful not to ask anybody to get involved that didn't want to be involved, but I had tremendous support, and I just want to mention some of them. And I'm sure I'm going to leave people out, but I couldn't possibly go through all of them. You know, Kate, Natalie, all the investigators, as a matter of fact, Lauren, Mara, John Ferroletto, Rebecca, Gary, Sylvia, Nia, many of them are in the house, and so many more. You know, we did a lot on this campaign. You know, we started a year ago trying to recruit volunteers. We started with petitions. We did all those parades that I mentioned. We had many fundraisers. We made phone calls. We did this texting app that Kathy came up with, and my son Matthew, who's in Colorado, found the app that worked so tremendously and allowed us the ability to reach out to people. And finally, we were at polling places for the last week. So I couldn't have done it without all the volunteers, and I really appreciate all their support. You know, there's two other people I want to mention. Well, one is Zanetta Everhart. I don't know if Zanetta's in the house. Is Zanetta here? You know, Zanetta Everhart went through an incredible tragedy with her son, and I'm not going to get into it any more than that, but she has showed me compassion and strength, and I cherish her friendship, and I cherish the support that she showed me in the last year in getting to know her and becoming a close friend of hers. So thank you, Zanetta. And finally, Paul Joyce and Tony Colucci. I couldn't have done this without all your help. You guys were there for me time and time again, and I really appreciate all your support. So I'm going to wrap up by just talking about my family one last time. You know, this is a long, hard campaign, and we had a lot of hard work by so many people, including all my family. As I mentioned, my aunts and uncles, my cousins, nieces, and nephews. I can't mention them all. Margaret and Mickey. I know Mickey's here, and I think my Aunt Ellen is here as well. And Kate and Sheila, maybe. Hey, there you are. Thank you, guys. Some of my siblings are here. My brothers, Neil, Dick, and Pat were tremendously helpful along the way, and I can't thank you enough. I know Pat's in the house because I saw him earlier. Thank you, Pat. And then, my wife's family, which we often refer to as the village. And that started when my wife, Lynn, ran for office for the first time in 2011 in Orchard Park. And, we're led by our matriarch, Joyce, as we call her. Thank you, Joyce. And Debbie and Tracy and Jill, and there's so many others. I'm going to leave people out. But, I could not do it without the love and support of my family. And, that includes the village, of course. Finally, my 4 kids, Michael, Jack, Matthew, and Grace. And, Michael, Jack, and Grace were able to get home last night. And, some of them have been able to come in the last couple of weekends, flying in from college and from their jobs in New York City to help on the working at the polling places to get out the vote and to make sure that we had a presence at some of the early voting polling places. And I can't thank my kids enough. I'm so proud of all my kids, but seeing the way that they dropped what they were doing and came to, support me in this, most critical time, the last couple of weeks of this campaign, has been incredible. So thank you guys very much. I love you. My wife, who can't be here, is really my rock. She's my inspiration. She's the working person I know, even Kathy Callan, even Tim Kennedy. I think I forgot to mention Tim Kennedy. My God, I spent so many days with Tim Kennedy over the last year. He's an incredible worker. He does so much for his family, and I really attach myself to Tim. He's really been a mentor to me, even though he's quite a bit younger than me. Tim is a role model, and I cannot thank him enough for everything that he did for me. But my wife is an incredible, incredible human being. She just, radiates positivity, and I couldn't be here without her. I wouldn't be here without her. So thank you, Lynn. I love you. Finally, I'm going to mention my mom and dad. I want to skip back to them because, a number of people, including, I think, my Aunt Mickey earlier tonight, said, your mom and dad would be so proud of you. And that's what I strive for. It's an honor to, walk in their footsteps. And I hope to live up to the legacy that they started years and years ago. As I mentioned, public service is really in my blood. I do this job because I love this community. I love Buffalo. I love Western New York. We are a special place. We really are. And the people of this community is why we're special. So it's my honor and my privilege to continue to serve you and to continue to work for you. And thank you again so very much, all of you.